Hey guys, Barcode Pairs coming at you again with another deck profile. This is a very old deck nowadays, but it was also a very good deck. It was a very good synchro deck, and it still can be good. It's just a shame that we don't have Bryanek anymore. But fellas, this is Fableds. Uh, Back in the day, it was pretty damn broken with the effects of Bryanek and how easy it was to go into Shooting Star Dragon. It's one of my favorite decks only because the cards are so messed up in their own way. I mean, you look at some of these cards and you think, God, I just want to kill myself looking at some of these. But yeah, I'm gonna get on with the deck profile. Here is the main tuner and main card of the deck. It's the Fabled Raven, which annoyingly got reprinted, but still looks pretty damn sexy. But yeah, he is a boss in this deck. He kicks off the turbo engine to go into shooting, and he's also well used in, or at least used to be used in Dark Worlds and things like that. Then we got the Fabled Grimro. She's pretty cool as well. It's just a nice search. It's one of the easiest searches in my opinion in the game. All you need is a Fabled monster, and then you get your search off it. And then you got crews, 3 of them anyway. And this is pretty much the staple Fabled format. Pretty much for your turbo engine, stuff like that. It's kind of like Dark Worlds where you got the free Grapha, free Snow, and free Brow. This deck can be very consistent, but nowadays not very, but either way. Fabled Kashano, we have 2 of those. It's just pretty nice to have like a tuner that will always come back. You just got to discard a Fabled card just to put them back into your hand. Pretty useful with crews and Lurie as well. Then we got the Fabled Chawa. That's pretty cool. Chawa is pretty much one of the main synchros tuners anyway. With Lurie, you can just go into Formula straight away. So it just makes the deck a tiny bit more consistent. If you want to really get your Shooting Star out, you play your Fabled Raven. You would need 2 Grimros in hand. Discard the 2 Grimros for a Cruise and Chawa. Hopefully you'll have the Lurie in hand, so it just means you can go into shooting that turn. Alright, then we got the Caius, the Shadow Monarch. This is a tech that I put in because, you know, we special summon a lot. We got a lot of special summoning going on here. We got the Chawa and the Lurie, so it pretty much makes it standard with Caius. We may as well just put the Caius in because at the end of the day, we're not always going to be able to synchro high, so we got to have something else to sort it out. So it's more like you go discard the Lurie for the Chawa, special summon them both. Tribute the Lurie for a Caius, use the Caius effect, and then if you want, you can sink into a 7. But there are no 7s in this extra deck. I'll actually put one in now. I know I should not really be doing this right now, but hey. I will be right back. Hey guys, sorry about that, but either way, yeah, you can just sink into a 7 and it just works out. Now we have 2 Tragodia. Tragodia is pretty good in the deck only because we're going to be taking quite a bit of battle damage at the end of the day. Considering our Fabled monsters, they're not that powerful, and we could use the extra beat. Like a first turn Tragodia for us would probably be very beneficial. Then we've got the 2 Torguide. This just speeds up the Kashano engine, so we just go Torguide into Kashano, go into Leviathan, put the Kashano to grave, and then use Kashano effect. It works out pretty well. Then we got a Chaos engine, which is BLS and a Chaos Sorcerer. You can get these out fairly easy with the deck. At least you could. The way I used to run this, it was very fast with the Chaos, and it used to just run off itself in its own way. Then we got the Dark Arm Dragon. We get 3 Darks in a grave quite easily. We can summon him. Then we got Honest, which is pretty good as well. If we just generally need to get rid of something, just attack with a Chawa or Lurie, just drop the Honest and then just get over it. Now obviously we're going to need something to build up our turbo, so we got free upstart. As much as you know your opponent is gaining 1,000, you know, the amount we can sink into, like if we go Shooting Star first turn, you know, that's still a very powerful first turn, even to this day. So it still works out either way, because, you know, we got a powerful monster who can negate attacks, and he's got several other effects. I do prefer Red Nova Dragon, but, you know, he gains several effects. Then we got the 1-for-1, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn as staples. We don't really need MSTs because half the time we don't really use them. Well, we will use them, but it's just, it fills up too much deck space, and I feel that, you know, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, and Monster Reborn is really all we need for the staple lineup because we really just want to be sinking as fast as we can. Then I got the Free Call of the Hornets. The reason I've got this is just mainly, you know, in case we got an extra Dark engraved, then we need to, or if I just feel that we could use something else on the field, like a Raven. If the Raven goes, we just bring the Raven back and reuse the effect, things like that. Then we got the 2 Compulse just for the staple. You know, if your opponent summons something which is going to be risky or annoying to get past, you know, you just activate it and yeah, it's done. Then we got the 3 Reckless Greed. If we have a good field, like let's say we have Leviathan out with maybe, I don't know, a Scrap Archfiend, you know, we got a nice little field out for ourselves, so we can just activate our Reckless Greeds. But you want to really activate them all at the same time. You don't want to activate them in between each other, because, you know, drawing 2 cards is not good in this deck. You need a full hand to be able to do much, and because we don't have a lot of spells or traps, you know, we're more than likely to draw into our monsters, so we're going to have a lot of power here. So it just works out. And then finally we got the Starlight Road. You know, as much as I don't really like using this card, I never really find an opportune moment for me to use it. I feel that it's still useful in this deck because we synchro a lot, we do a lot of things, and the opponent is going to want to get past our monsters. So really it's just activate that and then sync next turn, so it works out. Now I'm going to go into the synchros. We've got 2 Fabled Leviathans. You kind of want these. You really want these in the deck because it just means if you can't sync into Shooting Star, you just sync into that. You sync into that, so you can then, if it dies, you know, you can just bring your Raven, your Grimro, and a Cruise back to your hand, so you can just redo everything. Then you have the Fabled Raging, which is pretty cool. It's just the fact of, you know, if you've got a dead hand or if you've got nothing in your hand, just bring it, just draw 2 cards, stuff like that. Then we've got the Ally of Justice Catasta, just works out for you in certain situations. The same with Hyper Librarian. This could go into Shooting Quasar, but I don't really like to put Shooting Quasar in decks because, you know, it's not been released in England yet. So I like to keep it more of a TCG than anything else. And yeah, I like to use the TGs. Then we got the Stardust Dragon, just for, you know, we're running 2 at the moment only because I kind of want one for Starlight Road and for syncing. Like, if I use Starlight Road and someone gets rid of it, it's just kind of like I can't go into my turbo. So then we have the Formula Synchron and then the Shooting Star. We kind of need one to have the other, so it works out. Then for the level 7s, we got Scrap Archfiend and Black Rose Dragon. These work out either way, you know. As I said before, you just discard the Luri with a Chawa, tribute the Luri for the Caius, and then use the effect, and then you can sync for a 7, which would be Scrap. So it works out either way. And then we got the Wind Up Zenmains, 2 of them. And then we have 2 Leviathan Dragons, just for, you know, the tour guide engine. So that's the deck, guys. It's pretty good. I've been testing it out. It does very well. It doesn't exactly stack up against the meta because, you know, it's fast, but it's not as fast as it used to be. The same with Piper Chaos. Piper Chaos is never going to be as fast as it used to be because they screwed up Chaos Sorcerer, stuff like that. But still, you know, it's a fun deck. If anyone here is really watching this and is wanting to make a fun deck, it works out either way. Anyway, I'm Barcode Pez. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I hope some of you make it. Please leave comments. Also, like the video and rate. It would be subscribe even. I can't even talk. But either way, it's much appreciated either ways. And I hope I helped anyone out with their decks. I'm Barcode Pez. I'm signing off. Goodbye.